Welcome, ghostly travelers, to our chilling countdown of the top 10 haunted asylums in the United States. These eerie institutions are not just relics of the past, but are rumored to be home to restless spirits and ghostly apparitions. If you dare, join us as we explore the history and hauntings of these notorious asylums. Let's begin our journey into the unknown. Asylums were often places of suffering and despair, and it's no wonder that many believe the spirits of those who lived and died there still linger. Today, we'll uncover the dark history and ghostly tales of 10 of the most haunted asylums across America. Starting off our list at number 10, we have Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany, New York. Established in 1827, this asylum was originally a poorhouse for the destitute. Over the years, it housed orphans, the elderly, and the mentally ill. The sprawling 53,000 square feet complex became a final refuge for those society had forgotten. With over 1,700 documented deaths, it's no surprise that Rolling Hills is considered one of the most haunted locations in the United States. The facility's cemetery is a silent testament to the many who died within its walls. Visitors often report seeing shadow figures, hearing disembodied voices, and experiencing unexplained cold spots. The basement, once used as a morgue, is particularly active with reports of ghostly apparitions. One of the most famous spirits here is Roy, a 7-foot-tall man who is often seen in the hallways. Roy's tragic story is a poignant reminder of the harsh realities faced by many residents. Another frequent apparition is that of a nurse, often seen tending to patients in the shadows. The Shadow Hallway, a hotspot for paranormal activity, is a must-visit for any ghost hunter. In the auditorium, visitors have reported hearing the faint echoes of old-time music and distant laughter, as if the spirits are replaying happier times. At number 9, we have the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in Weston, West Virginia. Opened in 1864, this asylum was designed to house 250 patients. But at its peak, it held over 2,400. The overcrowding and inadequate care led to numerous deaths, many of which are believed to have left a supernatural mark. Due to its overcrowded conditions and brutal treatments, the asylum closed in 1994. Today, it's famous for its ghost tours and paranormal investigations. Visitors claim to have seen apparitions, heard unexplained noises, and even felt ghostly touches. The asylum's extensive network of tunnels and the infamous Civil War wing are hotspots for ghost sightings. One of the most well-known spirits is that of Lily, a young girl who died at the asylum. Her playful spirit is often detected in the children's ward, where toys are seen moving on their own. Another notable entity is a soldier from the Civil War era, often seen roaming the hallways. The asylum's medical center is particularly active, with numerous reports of phantom doctors and nurses still tending to their spectral patients. The main entrance hall, where new arrivals were first assessed, is a chilling area with frequent reports of ghostly voices and footsteps. Coming in at number 8 is the Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky. Originally opened in 1910 as a tuberculosis hospital, it saw thousands of deaths during the TB epidemic. The sanatorium's history is marked by countless stories of pain and suffering, making it a prime location for paranormal activity. Today, Waverly Hills is a hotspot for ghost hunters. Stories of shadow figures, ghostly screams, and unexplained footsteps are common. The infamous Room 502, where a nurse is said to have committed suicide, is particularly active. Many visitors have reported feeling a heavy, oppressive presence in the room. Could it be the nurse who met her tragic end here? Additionally, the death tunnel, or body chute, is a chilling reminder of the sanatorium's grim past and a focal point for ghost sightings. The creeper, a dark entity that crawls along the walls and ceilings, is another terrifying presence, often encountered by those brave enough to explore Waverly Hills. The rooftop, where patients were taken for heliotherapy or sun treatment, also hosts numerous ghostly encounters, with apparitions of former patients seen staring off into the distance. Another popular ghost is a boy named Timmy. Tour guides say he spends the day looking for someone to play with. They say you can roll a ball down to him, and often it'll be returned. At number 7, we have Danvers State Hospital in Danvers, Massachusetts. Opened in 1878, it was one of the most notorious asylums for its inhumane treatments and experimental procedures. The Gothic architecture and dark history of this hospital make it a particularly eerie location. The hospital closed in 1992, but the spirits of those who suffered there are said to remain. Ghostly apparitions, eerie voices, and phantom footsteps are frequently reported by those who visit the site. The hospital's underground tunnels and abandoned wards add to the spine-chilling atmosphere, where many have felt an inexplicable sense of dread. One of the most chilling tales is that of the Screaming Woman, a former patient whose agonized cries can still be heard echoing through the empty halls. The nurses' station, where many unethical experiments were conducted, is another area rife with paranormal activity. Shadows of former staff and patients are often seen moving about, continuing their routines from beyond the grave. The lobotomy room, where many patients underwent the controversial procedure, is a hotspot for ghostly activity. Lastly, the hospital's cemetery is known for its ghostly sightings, with apparitions seen wandering among the graves. Number 6 on our list is Eloise Psychiatric Hospital in Westland, Michigan. Opened in 1839, this sprawling complex once housed over 10,000 patients. The sheer size of Eloise, combined with its dark history, makes it a hotbed for ghostly encounters. With its history of overcrowding and controversial treatments, it's no wonder Eloise is considered haunted. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures, hearing disembodied voices, and experiencing sudden drops in temperature. The abandoned morgue and the psychiatric ward are particularly active, with many reporting encounters with former patients and staff. One of the most infamous spirits is that of a nurse who allegedly committed suicide. Her ghost is often seen roaming the hallways, still tending to her former patients. The children's ward is another area of interest, where toys are said to move on their own, and the laughter of ghostly children can be heard. Next, the powerhouse, where some patients met their end, is a hotspot for paranormal activity. Finally, the tuberculosis ward, where many patients succumb to the disease, is an area where ghostly apparitions and unexplained sounds are frequently reported. At number 5, we have Taunton State Hospital in Taunton, Massachusetts. Opened in 1854, this asylum was known for its controversial treatments and mysterious deaths. The Victorian architecture and the asylum's long history of suffering add to its eerie reputation. Reports of paranormal activity at Taunton include ghostly apparitions, strange noises, and an eerie feeling of being watched. The basement is particularly notorious, with claims of shadowy figures and chilling cold spots. The isolation ward, where patients were kept in terrible conditions, is another hotspot for ghostly encounters. One of the most unsettling stories involves a group of former patients who were said to have conducted dark rituals in the basement. Could their spirits still be lingering in the shadows? The surgical wing, where many unethical procedures were performed, is also known for its high level of paranormal activity. Apparitions of former doctors and nurses are often seen, continuing their grim work. The children's ward, where young patients were treated, is another area, with frequent reports of ghostly children playing and giggling. Lastly, the admin building, where records were kept and many patients were admitted, is also known for ghostly encounters. Number 4 on our list is Byberry Mental Hospital in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Opened in 1907, Byberry became notorious for its overcrowded conditions and abusive treatment. The asylum's dark history is evident in its institutional neglect and overcrowding that plagued its existence. The hospital closed in 1990, but its dark past seems to have left an imprint. From its closing, visitors reported seeing shadowy figures, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. The administration building, where many patients were subjected to harsh treatments, was particularly active. One of the most chilling encounters was with a spirit known as Charlie, a former patient who roamed the halls searching for peace that he never found in life. In 2006, Byberry Mental Hospital was torn down, and the site where it once stood is now set to become warehouses. Additionally, part of the land has been developed into a senior community called the Arbors at Eagle Point. While the physical structure is gone, the haunting legacy of Byberry, rooted in darkness, continues to light the way toward understanding, compassion, and change, ensuring that the shadows of its past contribute to a brighter future for mental health advocacy and care. Coming in at number 3 is the Athens Lunatic Asylum, also known as the Ridges in Athens, Ohio. Opened in 1874, this asylum was known for its lobotomies and other controversial treatments. The asylum's sprawling grounds and Gothic architecture add to its haunting allure. The asylum closed in 1993, but the spirits of those who suffered there are said to remain. Visitors report seeing apparitions, hearing unexplained noises, and feeling cold spots. The lobotomy room, where many patients underwent the controversial procedure, is a hotspot for ghostly activity. One of the most famous spirits is that of Margaret Schilling, a patient whose body was found weeks after she went missing. Her ghost is often seen in the room where she died, and her outline is still visible on the floor. The cemetery, where many unclaimed patients were buried, is also known for its paranormal activity. Shadowy figures and ghostly whispers are commonly reported by visitors. The administration building, where many patients were admitted, is another area with frequent reports of ghostly encounters. The building's decaying halls echo with unexplained footsteps, disembodied voices, and chilling apparitions, leaving visitors with an overwhelming sense of unease. At number 2, we have Norwich State Hospital in Preston, Connecticut. Opened in 1904, Norwich housed thousands of patients and was known for its overcrowded conditions and experimental treatments. The hospital's abandoned buildings and decaying infrastructure make it a prime location for ghost sightings. The hospital closed in 1996, but its haunted reputation lives on. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling sudden drops in temperature. The male and female wards, where patients were kept in deplorable conditions, are particularly active. One of the most active areas is the administration building, where visitors have reported hearing footsteps, seeing apparitions, and feeling a sense of unease. Next, the medical building, where many patients underwent painful treatments, is also a hotspot for ghostly encounters. Shadow figures and phantom doctors are often seen continuing their spectral rounds. The morgue, where many unclaimed bodies were kept, is another area with frequent reports of paranormal activity. Lastly, the children's ward, where young patients were treated, is also known for its high level of mysterious manifestations. And finally, at number 1, we have Pennhurst Asylum in Spring City, Pennsylvania. Opened in 1908, Pennhurst quickly gained a reputation for its horrific conditions and mistreatment of patients. The asylum's sprawling complex and tragic history make it one of the most haunted locations in the United States. The asylum closed in 1987, but its dark history seems to have left a lasting impression. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs, shadow figures, and ghostly apparitions. The Mayflower Building, where many of the worst abuses took place, is particularly active with reports of screams, footsteps, and ghostly figures. One of the most chilling areas is the Quaker Building, where visitors report hearing screams, footsteps, and even seeing full-bodied apparitions of former patients. The tunnels, which were used to transport patients and supplies, are another hotspot for supernatural occurrences. Shadow figures and phantom voices are commonly reported in these dark, confined spaces. The administration building, where records of patients' mistreatment were kept, is another area known for its paranormal activity. Let the memory of Pennhurst instill in us a resolve to acknowledge the depths of our history, ensuring that the spirits of the forgotten illuminate the way to a more compassionate world. As we reach the end of our haunted journey, we hope you've enjoyed exploring these eerie asylums with us. if you ever find yourself near one of these locations, perhaps you'll have your own ghostly encounter. Until next time, keep exploring and let the unknown intrigue you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to join us on more haunted adventures. Thanks for watching.